Hey y'all, it is Monday, October 26th. Happy Monday. Okay, like I said, today is Monday, October 26th. Welcome to Monday this week, last week of October. 2020 seems like the longest, yet it's hard to believe it's already the end of October. Today's reading quote I'm taking from The House of Seven Gables. I skipped over some other reading quotes because we had already talked about those books so much that I wanted to give something new. So today's reading quote comes from The House of Seven Gables by Nathaniel Hawthorne, and I read this back in 2013, and the quote says, "But in old houses like this, dead people are very apt to come back again," which is such a great quote and so telling for The House of Seven Gables. If you've read that book, you know exactly why I picked that quote. So on to our reading for today. Bleak House by Charles Dickens. I am going to finish this book this week. I'm within the last couple hundred pages and it's getting really interesting now. So some thoughts on this so far and what I've read this weekend. I've read a lot this weekend. I was not expecting the turn of Jarndyce proposing to Esther, and I'm still questioning what his true intent is with this. I thought maybe he'd put one of his friends up to it, but certainly not him. So what is going on with this? I look forward to seeing what happens with this. Also, poor Joe. I was really rooting for Joe to come through, but poor Joe. Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth. First of all, what is up with Merritt? She seems like such a bitch to Audrey. I don't get it. Just because she disapproves of her playing the part? Or is she jealous because she's getting on? Maybe she's jealous because she's getting on with Harper, and Merritt thought she had something with Harper. I don't know. I'm not liking her at this point. Also, that scene with Harper looking at the neighbors and the other world/season winter happening, I'm so confused by that. Like, what is going on? And confused in a good way because I want to keep reading to see if it explains it. Still reading Americanah. I didn't read a lot of this book. I focused more on my other books, but I'm still enjoying it. And now we've gotten to the point where the two main characters have met in the past in a flash, these long flashbacks that are now apparently like the story. So that's nice getting to see them meet and fall in love and all that kind of stuff. Still reading Mistborn, but as you know, I have a separate reading vlog for that. So that's all for my check-in today. If I can finish this paper for library school, I might have a video that I'll put up today on nonfiction or recent reads, depending on how I feel after this paper. But yeah, these are some of the books. As you can see, let me do the obligatory book hold. Some of the books that I'm reading today. I hope to get through them. Definitely will get through them by the end of this week. Hopefully sooner than that so I can start on new books before October ends. But that's it. Happy Monday, and we'll see you all tomorrow on Tuesday. Have a great day. Bye. Hey y'all, just checking in on Tuesday, October 27th. We're almost to the end of October already. Can you believe it? I can't. Today's reading quote is from, once again, Joan Didion. You know how much I love her. And today, tomorrow, Thursday, sometime this week I'll be doing another video with her essays in it. I don't know when. I can't make any promises. 2020 is a crazy year. But the quote comes from the book of essays called The White Album, and the essay Many Mansions, and it's fantastic. The quote is, "It is a house built for a family of snackers," and I am a snacker. I love snacking, and so it reached out to me because I'd love to live in a house built for snackers. Onto our readings. So, making my way through Bleak House. I will be done with that soon, I promise. Also through Plain Bad Heroines. So what? That chapter with the bathtub scene, and Adelaide. I'm so confused at what's going on here. Like, something supernatural, some kind of curse. That was the weirdest scene ever. The bathtub filled with algae and bees were coming from the faucet. I don't know what's going on, but I can't wait to keep reading and see what happens next. Americanah, I'm having mixed feelings about this. So before I said that, you know, I like getting the back history, but now we're just there. It's not even just like, okay, we'll go here for a couple chapters and then go back. For me, it's kind of distracting me from what I had originally thought the main story was. So now I'm wondering what's going on. Is this going to be the rest of the story and then we'll quick jump back to and then it'll lead us to the future? Because the description made it seem like we were going to be in the present day. But all of this exposition, now we're in the past. So I'm really confused on this. Not necessarily confused, but distracted from what I thought I was going to be reading. I thought I was going to be reading a romance, and this is not really so much a romance right now. So I'm a little confused. I guess still confused, yeah. Mostly distracted. And let's see, Mistborn, you know I have a separate vlog for that. So that's it for today. Again, as always, let me know what other videos you want me to do, what books I should be reading, what you're reading, if you've read any of these books, what you thought. And I'll also have some tag videos coming soon too, so look forward to that also. Anyways, have a great Tuesday, and we'll see y'all tomorrow on Wednesday. Bye. Hey y'all, checking in on Wednesday, October 28th. So today's reading quote comes from The House of Seven Gables again. I reread it back in 2013, and it seems kind of fitting for the end of October and Halloween coming up. The quote says, "The ghosts of departed cookmaids looked wonderingly on," and it just leaves that like feeling of wonder and awe and spookiness and all of that that Halloween brings about. So our current reads Bleak House. I am slowly making my way towards the end. I am wondering how Mr. John Jarndyce, Charles Dickens has such funny, great names. I love it. Anyways, I'm wondering how Jarndyce is going to turn out. I'm getting two different vibes here, which I think is Charles Dickens' intent. Either he's suspected by Richard as acting on ulterior motives, and either he's gonna be innocent or he really is dirty, and we'll see how that turns out, but that makes me interested to see how it's gonna happen. Plain Bad Heroines. I am intrigued by this new movie idea by Bo, the director of the movie that we have in the book. It's a Blair Witch type of project with behind the scenes and like handheld cameras and that kind of deal. I suspected that this is where it was going earlier in the book, but now it's confirmed, and I'm interested to see how it's going to translate to a book in written form, because we've seen it in the movies and the media, but now I'm interested to see how it's going to translate. Americanah, sadly I have to DNF this for now. It's just too slow for me, and I'm not feeling it right now. I'm wondering if I'm not in the right headspace, because I've heard a lot of great things about this, so I'm gonna say I'm DNFing it for now and maybe come back to it later when I have a different headspace. But right now I just feel a bit burnt out and tired, and I need something to keep me interested and excited to read it, and I just wasn't feeling that with Americanah, so I'm DNFing it for now and starting in on Atomic Habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones by James Clear. And I don't generally read a lot of self-help books, but I'm excited for this. I've heard some really great things, and I think it might be just what I need for my headspace right now. So we'll see how that goes. I haven't actually read it yet. I just started it. Just decided to DNF Americanah and start in on Atomic Habits. So we'll see how all that goes. And Mistborn still reading. Check out the other vlog for that. And that's it for today. A quick one for today. I will see you all again on Thursday. Have a great day. Bye. Hey y'all, it's Thursday, October 29th, and just checking in for today. It'll be a quick check-in. But first, let's start with our reading quote. This one comes from the classic War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, and I read this back in 2016. It was actually my first read of it. Somehow I went through all of high school and 2 college degrees without reading War and Peace, which is usually when people read it, if anything. But the quote says, "Life without Princess Mary, little as he seemed to value her, was unthinkable to him." And if you've ever read War and Peace, you know why I highlighted that quote. It's pretty much, it's important to that text. And if you haven't read War and Peace yet and you have the patience for a big book like War and Peace, I highly recommend it at some point. It's a great book, and I'll be talking about it more soon in a bibliotherapy video. So on to our current reads. Slowly making my way through Bleak House still. Hope to finish it this week still. And poor George, he won't even fight for his own innocence, but his reasoning for doing so somehow makes perfect sense. But his last remark before they left his cell made me wonder, maybe it was Esther's mother, the lady who killed this lawyer? Because he said Esther looked just like the figure that he saw, which a lot of comments have pointed towards the lady. So I'm thinking maybe it's going to be going into that direction at the end of the book. But we'll see. Plain Bad Heroines. I'm really enjoying this book a lot still, but I wonder if perhaps it goes into too much detail at times. Like, we got so much of everyone trying to convince this character to do the movie. I don't even remember her name right now. Carolyn's daughter. I forget her name. I'll have to let me look it up. Plain Bad Heroine. Give me 1 second. Anyways, we get like several pages of people trying to convince her to do this movie, and then in the end she's like, yeah, okay, we'll do it, and mostly just in spite of one of the other characters and how much she doesn't like her. So I felt like it was too much detail in that, but I'm really enjoying this book still, and I can't wait to see how it develops. I'm about maybe halfway through the book now, maybe a little bit more. Still enjoying it. And yesterday I started Atomic Habits, and the story that this author starts with him getting hit in the face with a baseball bat, and like his nose being broken and his face basically collapsing, and then him going into this coma. That was a crazy story. But then he used it to show how he had to use small habits, which is the base of his self-help book, to build himself back into this baseball world and to essentially build his life back. So I thought he used that story really well to start the book off. So I look forward to continue reading that book, and that's it for today. Again, Mistborn is on a different reading vlog, so check that out once I get that posted. But that's all for today. Stay safe, everyone, and we'll see you all tomorrow on Friday. Have a great day. Bye. Hey y'all, it's Friday, October 30th, the second to last day of October, day before Halloween, day before the blue moon, day before daylight savings time. Tomorrow's gonna be a crazy day. But first we gotta get through Friday. Happy Friday, y'all. This is gonna be a quick check-in because I don't have much, but I do have some things. So our reading quote is something a little different than what we've had before, and it comes from a book called The World's Best, which is just a bunch of what this editor thinks at that time was the world's best short stories, essays, poems, etc. And this comes from the short story Art and Isadora. And the quote says, "There was nothing left she cared for in the world but a few drinks and a good-looking young man." And I think we've all just been there at some point in our lives. So it's very relatable to a lot of different people, and that's why I liked it. And I read that quote in 2016. So our current reads, Bleak House by Charles Dickens. So this French lady, that Mademoiselle that was arrested supposedly for the murder of the lawyer, I'm a little confused / intrigued by her. Is she the lady or is she someone else? Because Dickens is hinting at both things. So now I'm confused and intrigued to see what happens to her. I've brought Bleak House to work with me today, hoping to finish it either today or tomorrow, depending on what happens at work today. Plain Bad Heroines. So this proposition by Brooke Hans, let's get married, I'll take care of your baby, and we can love whoever we want because you love women and I love men, but in this society we can't do that openly. This makes total sense in a time when people did this. So I wasn't expecting it to the point where I was like, okay, yeah, this has finally happened, but I was expecting it where I wasn't surprised. Because Brooke Hans is so much older than Libby. So it made sense. Atomic Habits, I'm loving this book so far. One of the things that James Clear, the author, says to do is to aim for 1% better every day in everything you do, and then you'll be sure to get better. Instead of aiming for big things, aim for little things, and that's the whole theory behind Atomic Habits. And Mistborn, of course, I've got a separate reading vlog for that. I hope to be finished with that sometime next week. I think I'm about halfway through, so making my way through that slowly but surely and really enjoying that. Anyways, that's my quick check-in for today, October 30th. If I have more thoughts on Bleak House, I'll check in again later, but for now, that's it for today. Stay safe, keep reading, and we'll check in with you all tomorrow on Saturday, Halloween. Have a great day. Bye. Hey y'all, so I've got just a couple thoughts on Bleak House right now. So I'm sitting here at work reading it. It's the middle of the day, so I've still got several hours left, and I'm like a little bit more than 100 pages to the end, so hopefully that I can finish it today. If not today, then definitely by tomorrow, by the time I post this. But a couple thoughts on what I've read so far. One is something that I forgot to mention before, is they've kind of revealed who Esther's dad is. So we know that her mom is Lady, I forget the last name, but the lady. And now Dickens has revealed that Esther's dad is that mysterious guy in the office with all the papers that was found dead a long time ago. And this was a revelation to me because I was thinking that it was Tulkinghorn, the lawyer that's now dead. But what Dickens has told us in the exposition is that it was this mysterious lawyer. He was the secret father, and Tulkinghorn knew about this, and this is why Tulkinghorn is dead. So that was a thought that I had forgotten to say before. Definitely surprised by this, but in a good way. My current thought now is I just finished the chapter where we first find out who George really is. He is a Rouncewell? So we know of Mrs. Rouncewell through the lady. Let me check that name because I can't remember their last names, and it's gonna come up a lot. Give me 1 second. What is their last name? Leicester. So Sir Leicester and the lady, what's her name? Lady Dedlock. Okay, so Lady Dedlock is Esther's mom. Sir Leicester is Lady Dedlock's husband. And Mrs. Rouncewell is like the maid at their house.
And we've heard of her before. She's been in the book before. And this is a huge surprise to me. I was not expecting this at all. But in this chapter that I just read, a lot of things have happened. So first, Mrs. Rouncewell goes and visits George, and he says, like, I've failed you as a son. I do not live up to the family name. My brother is so much better in this family, but don't tell him what's happened to me because I feel really bad about it. So then she goes and sees Lady Dedlock, and she tells her everything, says George is innocent, but he's in jail. He won't get a lawyer because he thinks that's beneath him, and if he's innocent, he shouldn't need one anyways, which we've known before from talking to George. And then she says, I'm going to give you please speak on his behalf. But read this letter because this will prove his innocence. But don't read it until I'm gone. So Lady Dedlock is like, I don't know what I can do for him, but okay. And so then Mrs. Rouncewell leaves, and Lady Dedlock reads this letter that we've heard about before, which is how the detective, Bucket, knows that George is not the killer, but he needs solid proof. So this letter keeps making its rounds, and it says, Lady Dedlock murderess, or murderous Lady Dedlock, something along that sort. One of those two orders. And of course, Lady Dedlock is completely shooken by this. And then she gets a visit from Mr. Guppy, who has not been a fan of hers and basically blackmails her and says, I know the truth, and a whole bunch of these other people know the truth, and they're going to now try to get money from it if they haven't already. They've already been here, blah, 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 blah. And so then at the end of the chapter, we get Lady Dedlock leaving this letter to her husband, Sir Leicester, saying, I did not, almost everything that you've heard, including the affair and being Esther's mother and that kind of stuff, is true. But I am not the murderer here. I'm not a murderess. That part, I'm innocent. Everything else, I'm guilty. But this part, I am innocent. Please believe me. But there's nothing I can do now but to run from it. And so she leaves her home, and now she's on the run, even though she's innocent of this murder. But she's got no way to prove it unless she comes out and says, like, I had an affair. This is what happened. I don't know who killed him, but it wasn't me. And she thinks that's beneath her station. She can't do that. And so now she's on the run. And I can't wait to see what happens. Like I said, I'm about 100 pages, a little bit more from the end. And now it's getting really exciting. And I'll probably check in again at the end of the next chapter because it's getting really exciting. Anyways, that's it for now. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Hey y'all, it's Kate checking in one last time this week on Saturday, October 31st, Halloween. Happy Halloween. First and foremost, I gotta say R.I.P. Sean Connery, James Bond. It's a sad day. But moving on. So today's reading quote is very fitting for the news that we got this morning of Sean Connery's death. And it says, but the Happy Valley had a cloud over it. And that's from The House of Seven Gables. Very fitting. I read it in 2013, but it fits today perfectly, sadly. On with our current reads. So this morning, literally just right before I came to film this, I finally finished reading Bleak House, and wow, that ending was so good. Poor Richard. Esther got to marry Alan Woodcourt instead of Jarndyce, and that was a surprise for everyone. Jarndyce is a sneaky, sneaky man. Ada had a baby who she named after Richard because he died before the baby was born. The case was just dissolved. It took so long that anything they would have won from it had to go pay for the case. Great ending. I think I give it a 4. It raised from 3 to a 3.5 to a 4 stars, and I'll give a further review on that probably tomorrow later. Still reading Plain Bad Heroines, making my way through there, seeing how this is going to come about. We'll see. I have misgivings about some characters, but we'll see how they turn out. So making my way through Mistborn. Nothing further to add there right now, but separate reading vlog on that anyways. And still loving the self-help book, strangely enough, Atomic Habits. I can't wait to see how this will affect my habits, hopefully in a good way. But that's my check-in for today, and I will see you all again next time. Bye. Right, so I forgot to mention the book that I'll be starting tonight, A Passage to India by E.M. Forrester, another bibliotherapy book. This book is part of the 10 best escapist novels, which is perfect for right now and this year. So this will be a reread for me, but I can't wait to start in on that. As always, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. If you're already subscribed, hit that notification bell so you get notifications whenever we post videos. And let me know what other videos you want me to do, other books I should be adding to my TBR, and look later today or tomorrow for a monthly wrap-up for October. And I will see you all again soon. Bye.